The modern nuclear family isn't a natural human arrangement. It's a social structure that came about with industrialization and wage labor. It was the boomers that were the first generation to primarily grow up in a nuclear family structure. For most of human history, humans lived with extended family clans and a village. Care, discipline, skill teaching, and emotional regulation were spread amongst multiple adults and even older children. It wasn't a single two-parent unit, or sometimes one, carrying the entire economic, emotional, and developmental load. When the nuclear family took over, the entire village collapsed inward onto a very small number of people. This created chronic stress. Two adults, or one, became responsible for everything, and at the same time, they were overwhelmed, exhausted, emotionally dysregulated, and economically pressured. Children became dependent on a very small number of adults. If these adults were immature or traumatized, then there was less of a system to buffer the child from damage. This is a perfect setup for widespread emotional trauma. There's not abuse in every home, but there is often chronic mismanagement, emotional dysregulation, stress, role confusion, insecurity, and unmet needs becoming normal. When millions of people are living this way, growing up in emotionally limited, high-pressure family units with very little external correction, you get a population that's easier to shape through fear, authority, and seeking approval. People who never truly had a secure relationship or a home environment tend to look for security in systems and ideologies. A socially isolated family unit produces individuals that are more tolerant of hierarchy and more dependent on authority. If your upbringing depended on pacifying and appeasing a small authority figure, your parent, your nervous system learns self-suppression, hypervigilance, and compliance. Scale this up throughout society, and you have whole populations that are easier to divide, manage, and direct through structural design. And the results of this are everywhere. Weakened community bonds, substance use is rampant, there's a lot of isolation and loneliness, people outsource meaning to politics and influencers and consumerism. And there's an enormous amount of relationship dysfunction that's been normalized. People struggle with intimacy, trust, authority, and emotional regulation, not because they're broken, but because the environment that they were raised in was too small, too limited, too stressed, and too isolated to meet real human developmental needs. The nuclear family didn't just change the logistics. It changed nervous systems and attachment, and it nuked the mental health of the people. Have a good day.